Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council of 12 and the Pleiadian High Council of Light. Collectively, we are Del, if that pleases you. In today's transmission, we are discussing your current energies being felt upon your planet Earth for your month of November in your year of 2020. Oh, dear ones, it has become very extreme in the energies, has it not? Most of you who are able to feel the energies as of late in October of your year 2020 will notice the extraordinary amounts of energy flowing all around you. For many of you, this will be felt in the sensations you know as anxiety, as frustration, as anger, as desperation. Many of you will have bouts of crying, of wailing, of sobbing, and very little lately of joy and love. It feels more difficult to reach those feelings as of late. Is this not correct, dear ones? There is nothing wrong. You have done nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong, dear ones. You are not moving backwards, dear ones. There is nothing wrong with you. Please hear us. You are perfect. There is nothing wrong. This is part of the process. There are a couple reasons for these feelings, dear ones. The first, right now, this is the time where the energies are assisting you in noticing what's left inside of you that needs to be cleaned up and released back to source. This is the main reason, dear ones. If you had everything cleaned up, you would not be feeling this way at all. But most of you still have a few things that need to be dealt with. You might have touched upon it, you might have done healing work on it, but it is not yet released from you. It is still inside of you as a belief, which is just a habit. It is nothing more than a habit, dear ones. Most of you have worked upon your habits, but they are still there. That is what this energy is doing for you. It is allowing you to see what you still have active in you as a habit, as a way of thinking, as a belief system. Dear ones, this is such a beautiful thing. We understand from the human perspective, it is difficult and frustrating, and it's hard to move on when you are in the midst of those energies. But dear ones, those energies do break for brief moments, and that gives you time to look at what is going on and ask yourself why you are feeling like this, what inside of you has been triggered, as humans like to say. Because remember, dear ones, as we said, everything is just working itself out up to the surface for it to be known. So you have the choice as to whether or not you need to carry that burden with you anymore. It's time to lay down your burdens, dear ones. You do not need to carry that pain anymore. It does not serve you. Let it go. Dear ones, let that burden go. Send it back to Source God. It's time you let it go. That is the beauty of these energies. So when you are in the midst of suffering pain, of crying, of sorrow, of frustration, of hatred. Take a moment to recognize this is an opportunity to look within, to see what is still active inside of me that I no longer need, that does not benefit me anymore. At one time it did. At one time that feeling did help me, but it's not helping me anymore. And as such, it's time for me to let it go. Another way of looking at that, dear ones, think of it as being addicted to a prescription medication from your pharmacies. At one time, you needed that prescription to deal with whatever suffering was occurring within you. And that is good. You want to help yourself. You want to alleviate your suffering by any means that you feel is necessary. But if you keep taking the prescription over and over when you don't need it anymore, it's not benefiting you, dear ones. You have become addicted to it, and it's causing harm. What used to be of benefit is now causing harm. We encourage you to look within to see what you are addicted to. What belief are you carrying within yourself that you have been saying for years or decades, or maybe your entire life? Something that you say out loud as an identifier of who you are to others. Is that actually true? Is that identifier actually true? Do you want it to be true? Dear ones, it's time. It's time, dear ones. The second reason for feeling these extreme pains of emotion: the mass consciousness is suffering, dear ones. In America, it is coming up to your holiday season, and the mass consciousness is suffering, and they do not know what's going on. They do not understand what it is they are feeling, but you do, dear ones. A lot of what you are experiencing for these waves of suffering that all of a sudden come upon you, and you have a hard time releasing it. For no reason, it just comes upon you. Those are the waves of the mass consciousness that you are touching upon, that you can feel. And dear ones, we ask you, if you allow yourself to, we ask you to take those feelings from the mass consciousness and transmute them back towards light and send them off to the light. Maybe you feel comfortable with Archangel Michael. Maybe you feel comfortable with your guardian angel. Maybe you feel comfortable with another light team member. Find someone you are comfortable with, that you resonate with, and when you are feeling those feelings and you know that they're not yours and they are the mass consciousness feelings, we ask you to gather them all up inside your body and hand them off to your light team member so they can be transmuted back into light and love. Yes, dear ones, the mass consciousness, it is suffering, it is in pain, and you are the ones who can stay the course. Yes, right now it's a little windy, it's a little turbulent, but you can do it. Yes, dear ones, you just keep connecting to your higher self. You just keep connecting to your light team. You just keep connecting to Source God. You just keep connecting to your guardian angel. You just keep connecting to whomever you have a connection with that is of pure love light. Keep doing that. And as these feelings blow into you, recognize if they are yours or the mass consciousness. If they're the mass consciousness, hug them. Know that they're suffering, but allow it to just pass on through you as you hand it off and it returns back to the light. And bless that energy that it came from. As you bless the mass consciousness, you can soothe it. You can ease it. We ask you to do this with calm, gentle grace, dear ones. Your compassion right now is imperative for the mass consciousness. Dear ones, it's not going to get easier, so now is the time to develop your skill so you can make it easier for yourself, so you can make it easier in handling the energy, so you can make it easier in responding and not reacting. Dear ones, your month of November is a very incredible month, dear ones. There will be a lot going on, dear ones. We ask you to place your hands upon your heart center with us right now. Take a deep breath. Exhale slowly. And send your love and light around the entire globe, blessing all the inhabitants. And for your month of November, cast your attention primarily towards your landmass of United States of America. For that area needs compassion. That area needs comfort. That area needs grace. That area needs light, love from the divine. See the light flow to that land. It is going to get turbulent, dear ones. So we ask you to continuously calm the energies by smoothing them out with the divine light and love. We leave you now in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator, Adonai.